This video is going to take a look at the Triangle Sum Theorem, so looking more at the interior angles, the three interior angles of a triangle and their sum. So you should have this packet in front of you. You should see the same thing that you're seeing on the screen in your packet. So again, we're looking at the interior angles of a triangle. So the one thing that you need to know, the one and only thing you need to know when it comes to the angles of a triangle, that they add up to 180 degrees. So each angle added together, so angle 1, angle 2, angle 3 added together would equal 180 degrees. So we're going to basically use the same idea of writing equations in order to solve for a letter or to solve for the variable that is missing, or the measurement, the angle measurement that is missing. So if you take a look, for example, at example 1, you're going to see that we have the triangle that has a 38-degree angle, a 70-degree angle, and the angle of x. So what we're going to do is, because we know that all three of these angles added together equals 180 degrees, we're going to write an equation that looks just like that. So 180 degrees would be equal to x plus 38 plus 70. We're going to combine what we know, so we're going to add together our 38 and our 70, and we're going to get an answer of 108. So we have 108 plus x equals 180. And then our goal again is to figure out what x is. So we're going to solve by subtracting 108 on both sides using that opposite or inverse operation. Our 108s cancel. X is equal to, so if we do 180 minus 108, we would get an answer of 72. So x degrees would actually be 72 degrees. So the angle measure for x would be 72 degrees. Example 2 looks a little different, so you'll notice that we have this box here. Remember that that means that that angle is equal to 90 degrees. And then we have an angle that's measuring x and an angle that's measuring x plus 28. Again, we know that the sum is equal to 180. And now we're going to do 90 plus x plus 28, because we want to make sure we use all of our angles. Now we're going to go ahead and combine what we can. So we can combine 90 plus 28, and when we combine 90 plus 28, we get 118. When we combine our two x's together, we get 2x, and that again is equal to 180. Now we're going to solve our two-step equation. So we're going to get rid of the number without the variable first. So we're going to do 180 minus 118, which is 62, and 62 is equal to 2x. To finish this, we're going to divide by 2 on both sides, and x would be equal to 31 degrees. Now that we know that x is equal to 31 degrees, we can take that and now figure out what each angle is equal to. So since this is just x, that would just be equal to 31 degrees, but this is x plus 28, so we need to do 31 plus 28, which would get us an angle sum of 59 degrees. In order to check to make sure that we are correct, we can add all those together. So 59 plus 31 plus 90 gets us back to a sum of 180 degrees. So we do have the correct value for x, and we have the correct angle measures for each missing angle. So what you're going to do now is finish the rest of the examples in your packet on pages 5 and 6. Check your answers, and then you're going to pick up another packet that deals with the Triangle Sum Theorem, and then we're going to continue watching this video. So you can either keep the video open on your screen and just come back to it, or you can X out and then pick back up with where you left off. So you should have the second packet now in front of you that deals with the Triangle Sum Theorem. And again, this is just going to be a quick review of what the Triangle Sum Theorem tells us. So this tells us that the sum, which is the answer to an addition problem, the sum of the three angles in any triangle is 180 degrees. If we look at the triangle that we're given, notice that we're given z, x, and y. So our equation for that algebraically would look like x plus y plus z equals 180 degrees. So we're going to do two more examples that deal with finding the measure of the missing angle. So again, we are going to first write an equation that could be used to find the measure of angle x. So we're going to take 82 plus 45 plus x, and that's going to be equal to 180 degrees. Now we're going to go ahead and solve the equation for x. So we're going to combine what we know. So 82 plus 45 becomes 127. So we end up with 127 plus x equals 180. We're going to subtract 127 on both sides and find that the value of x is going to be 53 degrees. So in this equation, x is equal to 53 degrees. Down here in our triangle, x is equal to 53 degrees. So it says check the reasonableness of your answer. So what that means is that if we take our three sums, our three angles, and we add them together, 82 plus 45 plus 53, our answer should be 180. So if we check that, we do get an answer of 180. So our answer is reasonable. The last question that we're asked, we're going to actually skip over because we haven't gotten to that yet. So you can just go ahead and cross that off. So what I would like you to do with this example is just go ahead and solve it on your own and then just press play or continue in order to see what the answer would be. So your answer should be x is equal to 60 degrees. Last example, example 2 says to find the measure of angle P. So this is a little bit more complex of an example than we've seen before, but you have done a couple examples like this, so I just want to make sure that we're all on the same understanding for looking at a triangle that has multiple expressions representing an angle measure. So again, we're going to start by writing an equation that will find the value of x. So if we take a look, we know that 180 is our sum, that's our total. And we know that to get there, we're adding 65 plus 15x minus 4 plus 4x plus 5. So we're going to go through. If it helps you, change your subtraction to addition. And then now we can go ahead and drop the parentheses. So we're going to end up with 180 equals 65 plus 15x plus negative 4 plus 4x plus 5. From there, we're going to go ahead and combine any of our like terms. So we can take 65 plus negative 4 plus 5. And when we combine those together, we get 66. So right now our equation is getting simplified down because we're combining our like terms. We can also combine our 15x and our 4x. So 15x plus 4x would become 19x. So my simplified equation would look like 180 equals 66 plus 19x. Now I'm going to solve just like a two-step equation I would. So I'm going to get rid of the number without the variable first. We're going to cancel those. 180 minus 66 gets us to 114. And 114 is equal to 19x. Final step is going to be divide by 19 on both sides. And we find that x is equal to 6. So x is equal to 6. But we have to make sure that in order to find the actual degrees, that we substitute back into our expressions. So we're going to take 15 times 6 minus 4, which gets us an answer of 86 degrees. And then we're going to take 4 times 6 plus 5 which gets us an answer of 29 degrees. We want to now take these numbers and add them together to make sure that they get a sum of 180 degrees. So when I do add them together, they do make a sum of 180 degrees, which tells me that x is equal to 6, and also tells me that we have a degree of, or an angle with a degree of 86 degrees and an angle with a degree of 29 degrees. So again, you're going to go ahead and complete the packet, the rest of the questions, the practice questions, and then make sure you check your answers for accuracy.